Hi, welcome back, it's Susan. I've made this card today and I've used the classic wreath die. It's a beautiful die. You can pop it on top of each other, double it up, use it single. I'm using it single today. It measures 5 inches diameter. Such a beautiful die. And that is only £6.75, and that is how it cuts out. Absolutely beautiful. What I've also used as well is the polar bear set. You get 7 dies, different sizes, different poses. So versatile. They don't have to be polar, they can be brown or black bears, it depends how you colour them. And that's £5.75. They are in stock. And then the mini tags, and who doesn't love these mini tags? Gorgeous. So I've cut 3 out, and these are the ones I'm going to use today. But you do get 22 dies in the set. You get happy birthday, special friend, from me to you, just for you, with love, love for you, sending love, and then those charming embossed hearts. And that die set is £5.75. Will be coming back in stock in a couple of days, same as the classic wreath die. And of course they're from Craftaddictionuk, and you've got your coupon code for susan5 for an extra 5% off. So let's get started on my project. I've used an embossing folder, which is an old Tonic Studios one, and I found it in my stash and I thought that'll be my base for today's card. And my wreath, I just want to add a little bit of colour to it. So I'm bringing in my mat. I've got my small brayer and I've chosen some inks. So I've picked out Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. So I'm going to use the Old Olive first, just straight onto the brayer. And then just braying it lightly over that wreath. And that's all I'm going to do with that colouring. So before I go into the Mossy Meadow, I'm going to clean my brayer off onto my mat. And then go into that Mossy Meadow. Just add in a little bit extra colour, just to give it a bit of depth, but keeping some white into it. And I've finished. So I'm going to clean that brayer off again onto the mat. And then I'm going to save that for later and do some smooshing for a background. So bringing that embossed panel in, what I'm going to do is just pinch, not too much, just slightly raise those petals only halfway round. So I'm going to leave the other half flat like it came out of the die. So it's going to look something like that. So I'm going to get my glue and place it down. So I'm just going to do dots just on that centre. I'm not bothered about any on the leaf, just on the centre. Then popping it back onto that panel and giving it a press. But because the embossing is really quite deep on that panel, I'm going to get my embossing tool and just run it round that centre of the wreath, just to give that glue a little bit more grab power. because there is a lot of indentations. And that'll be fine. So I'm bringing in my polar bears, and I'm going to have the large one just at the bottom. And that's why I didn't want that other half of the wreath to be pinched. So getting those foam pads and placing it on. I'm being quite generous with it and getting a smaller one for his head. And taking those backings off and popping him on. I just love these dies. All of them. If you've not had anything from Craft Addiction UK, the dies are absolutely amazing. The prices are fantastic. If you're in the UK, it's free P&P. And if you're overseas, I do believe there is a flat rate, a delivery charge of around £5.65, something like that, ballpark. So if you wanted to stock up, do so, and just have one delivery charge. And you've also got my coupon code susan5 for an extra 5% off. So it's a win-win. And we are expecting the deliveries to be back in sort of Wednesday, which is going to be the day you see this, and between Wednesday and Thursday. So that's my base done. I'm going to bring in my tags. And the ones I've chosen to use are From Me to You, With Love, and then those embossed hearts. I just love those. Well, I love them all. But those embossed hearts are so lovely. So I've got my nylon thread. Just going to put my tags on. You can get some nylon thread from Amazon. If you've got a haberdashery near you, go to the haberdasheries. They've got lots of thread in there. So I'm just having a dummy run. I'm always testing. I'm going to see how much thread I need and where I'm going to put it. Now, I was thinking of tucking it behind a leaf, but I've decided against that. So I'm going to tie a knot, not right up to the tags, but sort of about a centimetre away from the top of the tags, just so that I can keep my thread lovely and straight. I'm not cutting it all off just yet until I know where I'm going. So I've got my very small glue dots. These are from Stix to Anything. And I'm going to put a glue dot where I want it to be for the thread. But I've now thought I want to put some of the green ink just around my tags. Now, if I make a mess of it, I'll have to cut some more, but I'm going to try it. So doing a spritz of water, and you know I'm going to use my finger. So this is a first for me doing it round the tags, and I just want a suggestion of that green around the edge. And it is going on lovely. And although you can't really see it there, I'm going to show you a little close up. And you can see how delicate it is around the edge, but it is just a little something. I hope you can see that. There you go. It's just that delicate green, just around the edge. So I've placed my tags and I'm cutting the excess off now of the thread. Going to get some foam pads and just put one at the back of the tags. I want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribing to me. Please keep subscribing. I'm growing my channel. It helps me to bring more content to you. So I'm going to pop that back down now with that foam pad. You can always tweak it again after as well. And I'll be honest, a lot of the time I do tweaking when I've finished. Now I'm going to make a bow just out of that thread. So I'm going to cut a length off, double it up, making sure it's quite level, cutting it off to make two pieces, and then just do a bow. So I'm making a double bow, keep adjusting it till I get the right size and shape. Just going to adjust that one and snipping the tails. So getting another glue dot, but this time I'm going to roll it up into a little ball and place that onto the thread that's already down. And then pop my bow on top. Now I've got my base card, which is 7 by 7. And I'm going to have that onto some foam tape, just to make it that little bit extra special, to elevate it. And taking those backings off. Just taking the backing part way and just making that little tab. So that when I get it in its position, I can press it down and pull the tabs out. So I hope you've liked it. Like and subscribe. I'll put everything in the description. Press the more button. It'll tell you everything. And thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon.